Coach, there's something that I wanted to mention before, and I'll apologize in advance for my Raptors. They beat you in 2019.
Your Raptors beat us because of an ACL and an Achilles. But that was good. It's an NBA championship nonetheless.
Yeah, when you look back at Golden State, though, all jokes aside, just what it's like to work with Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and the list goes on.
Yeah, it was a great foundation year for me to learn how to coach, and I can assure you this: I learned more from the players than they ever learned from me because they were so good, they were so prepared, the way they worked. I would be hopping in drills with them as much as coaching them in that first year. But to be around a group of some of the best basketball players, not just in the NBA, but in the history of basketball, along with some of the best coaches, there was I think 6 or 7 either former, present, or future head coaches on that staff. For me in year one to learn from that group was totally invaluable, and then obviously to build my career built to grow those relationships and develop those relationships was super special for me.
What did you learn work ethic-wise that you can bring to your players from those guys?
Yeah, I just think you got to work at a game speed, and you have to have a certain level, a minimum level of competitiveness, and that's something that all of those guys had. Steph Curry and Kevin Durant in those years were 2 of, if not the best basketball players on earth, definitely in the top 5. And if you watch those, sometimes I would take our younger players just to watch them work out because every rep had purpose. There was always a level, if anything was on the line, there was always a level of compete. And that goes for some of the best players in the world. They were trying to get better every day. And so if they can do it, most certainly if you're 18, 19, 20 years old playing for me, you're going to have a lot of energy. You're going to compete at a certain level, or you're not going to play for me. And every day you got to try to improve on an individual level, right? And then once we're in practice, improve as a team. And to me, those 2 things can go hand in hand.
And then when you look at just why this was the right time, I know Leonard Hamilton was obviously at the job for a long period of time and one of the longest tenured coaches in the ACC, but why for you was it the right move to leave the NBA and to come back to your alma mater right now?
Yeah, it wasn't on my radar at all, although I knew eventually Coach Hamilton would step down as age catches up with all of us. But once those conversations started, both with the administration and with Coach Hamilton, I don't know how to explain it, but it felt right. The career side of it, I think it aligned with what I wanted. I want to be a head coach. I want to lead a program, and I want to help young players improve, and I want to win games, right? From a personal side, obviously I played at Florida State. I know the town well. I'm from Florida. My wife was a student athlete at Florida State. She's from Florida. So for us, and we traveled playing professionally all over Europe and minor league, crazy cities. And then coaching, I was all on the West Coast. So for both of us to come back home, right? It made sense on a personal level for our kids to grow up in a place where we're really familiar with, and a lot of relationships. Then obviously for career-wise, nothing would be more special than to get Florida State back to competing for championships every year.
And then lastly, just what it's like to have the character that you have with these guys. They seem to already be having a lot of fun with each other and just the interaction.
Yeah.
They lit up the room in the main TV room, so just your thoughts on.
Yeah, these are just 2 of our guys, and they're obviously seniors. They've been around. Chauncey played in the ACC, but we have, from top to bottom, we have a great team, and it's filled with a lot of individuals like these 2 that one of the things as we recruited and put this team together, there has to be a minimum. We had check marks analytically of certain styles and players we wanted, and we would dive into the film. But the most important part for me was when you get these guys on campus and start those Zoom calls and really get to know them. Do I want to coach them every day, and do they want to be in my building? Right, that partnership. To me, when you have a group of people between our staff and our roster that want to show up and get better and win games and compete at a high level and have some character to them, right? I enjoy being around these guys. I think they enjoy being around our staff. To me, when that bond happens, special things can happen. No one's going to pick us to win the ACC this year, but I promise you we're going to compete every game, and I can't promise you any results, but the group I'm coaching, I've seen it before at the highest level. When you bring certain characteristics and qualities and certain talent together that all work hard and work together, special things can happen.